When you think about the richest people in the world, a few familiar names probably come to mind. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, titans of technology who dominate headlines with their space rockets, electric cars, and mega mansions. But what if I told you that one of the wealthiest men on Earth is someone you might barely recognize? A man whose empire is not built on software or rockets, but on handbags, champagne, and couture. His name is Bernard Arnault, and he is the mastermind behind the largest luxury empire the world has ever seen. While you may not know his name, you've almost certainly heard of his brands. Louis Vuitton, Dior, Givenchy, Moet, and Chandon, Dom Perignon, Tiffany and Company. The list goes on. Welcome to the story of the richest man you don't know. Bernard Arnault was born in 1949 in Roubaix, France, into a relatively modest family. His father owned a small construction company, but young Bernard had bigger ambitions. He studied engineering at the École Polytechnique, one of France's most prestigious schools, and initially went to work in his family's business. At first glance, nothing about his background screamed future luxury mogul. He wasn't an artist, a designer, or a fashion insider, but what set him apart was his sharp eye for opportunity and an almost chess-like ability to see 3 moves ahead. His entry into the luxury world came almost by accident. In the 1980s, Arnault heard that a struggling textile company called Boussac was up for sale. This company happened to own Christian Dior, which at the time was floundering. Arnault saw what others didn't, the timeless power of a luxury brand. He convinced investors to let him buy Boussac, and soon after, he sold off the less glamorous parts of the business, textiles and retail chains, while keeping Dior. It was a bold move that signaled the birth of his luxury empire. From there, Arnault went on a buying spree that would reshape the industry forever. He took control of LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, a conglomerate formed from the merger of a luxury fashion house and a champagne cognac giant. Most people thought the group was too scattered to work, but Arnault had a vision: to unify the world's most prestigious luxury brands under one roof, creating an empire of exclusivity. He once famously said, "Luxury goods are the only area in which it is possible to make luxury margins." And he proved it. Under his leadership, LVMH grew into a powerhouse with over 75 brands, covering everything from fashion and jewelry to wines and watches. The portfolio reads like a who's who of luxury: Fendi, Bulgari, Celine, Sephora, TAG Heuer, Hennessy, Veuve Clicquot. Each brand retains its unique identity, but behind the curtain, they are all part of Arnault's empire. It's a business model that has been called the Empire of Desire, selling dreams, status, and aspiration, often wrapped in silk ribbons and embossed logos. But Arnault isn't just a businessman, he's a strategist who treats luxury like a science. One of his golden rules is scarcity. Luxury must feel rare, difficult to get, and never mass-produced. For example, Louis Vuitton famously never goes on sale. By keeping supply tight and controlling distribution, Arnault ensures that owning an LV bag feels like a privilege, not a purchase. This psychology has made Louis Vuitton the most valuable luxury brand in the world, worth over $30 billion alone. The numbers behind Arnault's empire are staggering. LVMH is valued at around $500 billion, making it the largest luxury company on Earth. In 2023, its revenue topped $86 billion, fueled by global demand for fashion, jewelry, and spirits. Bernard Arnault himself holds a controlling stake in the company, which is why his net worth has soared past $200 billion, sometimes even eclipsing Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos on the world's richest list. Yet, unlike Musk or Bezos, Arnault rarely makes headlines outside of financial circles. He doesn't chase rockets or tweet provocations. He operates quietly, almost invisibly, building wealth through timeless symbols of elegance and refinement. So why don't more people know about him? Perhaps it's because Arnault built his empire in luxury, an industry often seen as glamorous but niche compared to technology. Yet his influence runs deeper than most realize. Every red carpet, every fashion week, every champagne toast at a wedding or celebration, chances are Bernard Arnault's brands are there. When Rihanna launched her Fenty fashion line, it was under LVMH. When celebrities flaunt their Louis Vuitton luggage at airports, they're carrying pieces of his empire. Even your neighborhood Sephora, where millions shop for cosmetics, is part of Arnault's domain. But beyond the glitz and glamour, Arnault is also a master of discipline. He's known for being meticulous, detail-oriented, and relentless. Former colleagues describe him as demanding, sometimes even ruthless. In the 1990s, he was nicknamed the Wolf in Cashmere for his aggressive takeover tactics. Competitors underestimated him at their peril. Where others saw fashion as fleeting, Arnault saw business fundamentals: strong branding, controlled supply, and relentless expansion into global markets. Speaking of global markets, Arnault had the foresight to expand into Asia long before others did. Today, China alone accounts for nearly 1/3 of global luxury spending. While many Western companies hesitated, Arnault invested heavily in flagship stores in Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong, betting on the rise of the Asian consumer. That bet has paid off enormously, fueling LVMH's record-breaking revenues. Arnault's story also reveals a fascinating paradox about wealth. Unlike tech moguls who build futuristic innovations, his empire is built on tradition, heritage, and artistry. A Louis Vuitton bag isn't about cutting-edge technology, it's about craftsmanship, storytelling, and history. And yet, these products generate profits that rival and sometimes exceed those of Silicon Valley giants. In fact, luxury margins are some of the highest in any industry, often exceeding 30 to 40%, far beyond what most consumer businesses can achieve. Beyond business, Arnault has also positioned himself as a cultural patron. He has invested heavily in the arts, funding museums, galleries, and cultural institutions. In 2014, he opened the Fondation Louis Vuitton in Paris, a striking glass and steel art museum designed by Frank Gehry. It stands as a testament not just to his wealth, but to his belief that luxury and art are deeply intertwined. After the Notre Dame Cathedral fire in 2019, Arnault pledged 200 million euros for its reconstruction, cementing his status as both a businessman and a benefactor. But like all billionaires, Arnault has faced criticism. Some accuse luxury brands of fueling overconsumption, exploiting artisans, or perpetuating wealth inequality. Others argue that the pursuit of endless growth clashes with the very essence of luxury, which is supposed to be rare and exclusive. Arnault himself remains largely unfazed by such critiques, focusing instead on long-term strategy and legacy. What makes his story so compelling is the contrast. While tech billionaires dream of colonizing Mars, Arnault has built an empire on earthly desires: bags, watches, champagne, perfumes, and yet his fortune rivals or even surpasses theirs. He proves that in a digital age, people still crave tangible symbols of beauty, craftsmanship, and status. In fact, luxury may be more powerful than ever because it connects to something deeply human: the desire to stand out, to belong, to indulge in the extraordinary. So, who is Bernard Arnault? He is the quiet titan, the man behind the curtain of global luxury. He is proof that you don't need to invent a new technology to become the richest man in the world. You just need to understand human psychology, exclusivity, and the timeless appeal of elegance. His empire stretches across continents and cultures, shaping how people celebrate, express themselves, and dream. And yet, outside of financial headlines, he remains relatively unknown. The next time you see someone carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, sipping Dom Perignon, or trying on a Tiffany ring, remember this: behind that moment of luxury is a man who built the most powerful empire of desire the world has ever seen. His name is Bernard Arnault, and while you may not know him, chances are he already knows exactly what you want. If you found Bernard Arnault's secret empire as fascinating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more untold billionaire stories, and share this video with your friends. Drop a comment below. Would you choose tech or luxury if you built a fortune?